talk about Mother Teresa for a moment. No, I'm not going to go into Mother Teresa's background, but you've heard of Mother Teresa. Let me ask you something. If Mother Teresa came inside your room right now, came inside while you're watching I'm Right on the Jesse on right here on the First TV, and Mother Teresa said to you, "Hey, there is a fresh loaf of bread in the kitchen." Would you believe her? Yes, you would. If Mother Teresa came to you and said, "Hey, there is a public park in your area. If you go look at this park bench, I left a $100 bill in there for you," would you believe her? Of course you would. Why? Because Mother Teresa had a lifetime of telling the truth, of caring for people and telling the truth. So when Mother Teresa came to you and said something to you about anything, you would automatically, because of who she is, assign some level of truth to it. You would believe Mother Teresa. Okay, now let's set Mother Teresa aside for a moment. Who's the biggest liar in history? Just picture anybody in your mind. You know what? Forget about that. Let's personalize it more. I want you to picture somebody who's been arrested 10 times for stealing things that aren't his. 10 times. Either he was shoplifting, breaking into cars, stealing things out of it, breaking into homes, stealing jewels and money, stealing things. And that guy asked you if he could see your wallet for a minute. Would you do it? No, of course you wouldn't. You wouldn't because you're not a sucker and a chump, and you wouldn't want things stolen from you. We have to talk about the system for a moment as we get into this January 6th stuff. We have to talk about the media, the government, and all the different parts of the system, and we have to talk about the mentality failure we still currently struggle with on the right. It's why we lose the narrative on so many issues. It's our failure, our mentality failure, and this is what I mean. When there is a big story that comes out of any kind, pick your big story, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's COVID, George Floyd, January 6th, no matter what, and you see the system get out there and with one voice push one narrative. If you have not developed the mentality to assume that they are telling you outright lies with the hostile intention of getting you, then you're not going to make it. Then you're going to miss over and over and over again. We'll get into the Tucker stuff here and the January 6th stuff in a moment. But why do we get things right initially so often on this show, I'm Right, and so many other politicians and pundits on the right get things wrong forever, and then eventually they come around to the right thing? Why do we get things right and they get things wrong? Is it because I'm intelligent? No, I'm an idiot. I'm dumber than all those people. Why do we get things right all the time? Because I automatically know when the system is selling me some narrative, I know that I'm dealing with a hostile actor. I'm not dealing with someone who's biased or liberal or left-leaning. I am dealing with a hostile entity who wakes up every single day and endeavors to destroy me and everything I care about. Therefore, if they're all telling me something, I know they're telling me something with nefarious intentions towards me. I know it's a lie, and I know whatever they're telling me, probably the opposite is true. I have taken this approach on every media story for the last 5-6 years at least, and somehow I end up correct every single time. Most of the right, and I'm not talking about the communists, most of the right, the politicians and pundits on the right, they will initially believe the media story. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, sounds good. And then once it's too late, once the narrative's already been formed and the true information finally comes out, they come around and say, we've been lied to. This was an outrage. After it's too late. It drives me insane every single time. How can we still be so weak and pathetic and stupid on this side? We get things wrong because we don't want to believe what's right in front of our eyes. Because the acknowledgement that we're not dealing with bias or something like that we're actually dealing with the enemy, that acknowledgement comes with such a difficult realization about where we actually are as a nation. I understand the hesitation, but we can hesitate no longer. We will continue to get issue after issue after issue wrong initially, and then Johnny come lately, when it's far too late to do any good, we will finally come around to the correct side of an issue. This will continue happening over and over and over and over and over again in this country until we wake up and grow up and we realize what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with people who are just a little left, liberal, just biased guys, or the famed accusation of the right. What hypocrites! You're not dealing with hypocrites. You're dealing with people who believe that you should be arrested for what you believe. You see, it really doesn't matter what the January 6th protesters did or didn't do. It doesn't matter in the eyes of the communist. You think it matters because you believe in the rule of law, but the communist does not believe in the rule of law. The communist believes in arresting and oftentimes murdering his political opponents, and that's really all this was about. It was an excuse to send the Cheka to do what they've wanted the Cheka to do for the longest time. Attack their political opponents. And I am proud to say here on I'm Right, we've been speaking up for the political prisoners here in America for a long, long time now. We didn't just get to it 5 minutes ago like the rest of the right.